Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Antone, and I'm the Senior Marketing and Events Coordinator at MAR, as well as the producer of our free webinar series. I want to start off by saying that this is our first ever remote webinar, where myself and our presenter are in two different locations. With that said, there might be sound or visual difficulties, so please be patient with us. If you're having any of these difficulties, please put them in your chat box below and I will address them. Our webinar today is Affordable Mortgage Options, How MassHousing Can Help Your Client. This webinar will cover MassHousing's brand new loan, along with their down payment assistance program and low down payment options. It will also cover the MI Plus feature, which is a unique benefit that helps pay your client's mortgage in case of job loss. After our live session, the webinar will be recorded and added to our website at marealtor.com. If you have any questions throughout the session, please type them in the bottom of the chat box on your screen and we will hold a Q&A afterward. Our presenter today is Lisa Fiandaca. Lisa currently holds the position of MassHousing Director of Home Ownership Production. She oversees the agency's efforts to provide affordable home mortgage loans to low and moderate income residents, as well as the agency's relationships with partner lenders that originate MassHousing loans. She also oversees the agency's business development department. Lisa joined MassHousing as a business development officer in 2005 and has 37 years of experience in the mortgage lending field, having previously worked for Republic Mortgage Insurance Company and East Boston Savings Bank. Now, over to Lisa.
Good morning, Lauren. Thank you for inviting me and MassHousing to present to the Mass Association of Realtors members. The local associations and Mass Association has been an extremely important partner to MassHousing over many years. And much of your membership knows all of our relationship managers who cover all of the local associations. Some of them sit on the local boards and participate in your committees. Goretti Jochum, Angelo Newby are our senior relationship managers. Heather Putnam Graham, Rocco Leone, Natasha Boy, Oneida Fuentes, and Rich Patisi are also members of all of the local associations. Your outreach to first-time buyers and to the local communities is such an integral part of the beginning of a first-time home buyer's journey. So first, I really want to say thank you for this invitation and for the partnership for many years for both MassHousing and for me personally. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the MassHousing mortgage products with you, and also just talking about what's going on currently in the market and some of the things that MassHousing is doing to address and help borrowers who are currently facing unemployment and challenges making their mortgage payments. So many of you do know that MassHousing is the state's affordable housing agency, and MassHousing has been around for quite a long time. I'm going to give you just a really quick background of who we are and what we do. We're not a direct lender. So when you hear about someone getting a MassHousing loan, they're actually getting a MassHousing loan through one of our partners. We work with over 150 banks, credit unions, and mortgage companies who have access to our loan programs. We act as the investor. We offer the mortgage program and we fund the loans. We also are the servicer, so we're quite unique in that way as well. So once someone gets a MassHousing loan, they actually make their payments to us at 1 Beacon Street in Boston. And we're also a mortgage insurance company. So when you hear about PMI and MI, MassHousing has their own unique mortgage insurance fund, which we'll cover as well. How do we get our funds? So people say, where do you get your money? Do you run out of money? Well, we don't run out of money. We don't use any taxpayer dollars. MassHousing is a self-supporting state agency. We raise funds for the financing of all of these loans through the issuance of tax-exempt mortgage revenue bonds. We also sell loans on the secondary market to Fannie Mae and to Freddie Mac. And we also offer loan programs that are sold to Ginnie Mae as well, so FHA loans. And before I get too far into this, we will, as Lauren mentioned, we will be taking questions at the end. So if you do have questions, you can put them into the chat box and we'll cover those as we get through this. So MassHousing has multiple programs that have all different features. and some of the proudest programs we have are for first-time home buyers. It's really the underserved market. And when we say a first-time home buyer, that definition is someone who has not owned a primary residence in the last 3 years. And we typically get 3 years federal tax returns to verify that. We do have loan programs for people who are not first-time home buyers. And also, if anyone wants to refinance their property, we also have home improvement loans, septic repair, and DLED programs. So this may be something that's new to you, that typically people think of mass housing, and especially with consumers. Consumers who reach out to you as a realtor may have just heard of mass housing because of our division that manages rental properties, or actually works with developers of rental properties. So mass housing may be something that they're used to hearing, but not in the home ownership arena. So the first mortgage programs are conventional. So conventional means those loans are being sold to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. We also have FHA loan programs as well. And all of our programs are income-based. So we're serving a community that is underserved by other markets. So someone who is income eligible. We help borrowers that are earning up to 135% of the area median income. I'm going to be showing you a lot of different income charts throughout this presentation. So we may be jumping back a little bit of back and forth, but I will try my best to really simplify each of the programs so that you can sort of wrap your arms around what borrowers do you speak to that may be walking into one of your open houses, someone giving you a call saying, I want to go out to look at a property, and also your friends and family that may be confused as to what programs are available to them to both purchase and refinance and make improvements to their property. One of the programs we're most proud of is our down payment assistance program. This is the only statewide down payment assistance program available. So this is available for anyone purchasing throughout all of the entire Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So the down payment assistance, how does this work? Well, you get a first mortgage from MassHousing. So you would get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, because all of our loan programs are 30-year fixed rate. Consumer would go to one of our lending partners. So again, all of those banks, credit unions, and mortgage companies, ask about what first-time buyer programs are available, and then that company will help them take a look at what is available for them based on their income and where they're purchasing. So our newest down payment assistance program is called the Workforce Advantage. So that is the blue bar that you see on the bottom. So we're going to start with that one first. This is Workforce Advantage for borrowers earning 80% or less of the area median income. We will give them $15,000 or 3% of the purchase price, whichever is less. That is a second mortgage, and they're paying us back at a 1% interest rate that's amortized over 15 years. This is available to first-time buyers who are purchasing in a gateway city or the city of Boston. So that one is specific to a certain market, right, in a geography. But the one above that is down payment assistance, which is 5% of the purchase price, or $15,000, whichever is less. It is a 2% interest rate, and again, payable over a 15-year term. And that is available statewide to first-time home buyers. So there are two different down payment assistance programs that we have. These are in conjunction with a mass housing first mortgage, so they can't be used with another type of mortgage program. This is with mass housing. Workforce Advantage is brand new, and that just came out at the beginning of March. First-time home buyers. So how much can a first-time home buyer make and still use that down payment assistance of 5% or $15,000? So for each county, you can see that it's pretty easy. There's only 2 income limits for the entire state. In certain counties, you can make up to $113,300. That would be in Essex, Middlesex, Nantucket, Norfolk, Plymouth, Suffolk, and we'll stop there. At $101,200, borrowers who earn that or below can also take advantage of the down payment assistance as well. So they're getting a 30-year first mortgage from MassHousing. They're getting 5% or $15,000. 5% or $15,000 at a 2% interest rate. And they're also getting mortgage insurance from MassHousing at a discounted premium. So the amount that they pay monthly for mortgage insurance, or it can be lender paid, is actually a lower premium than many of the other private mortgage insurance premiums. You'll also notice on the right-hand side that says that there's a renovation feature. So many of those older homes that people are purchasing, they may need a new bathroom, a new kitchen, maybe the roof needs to be repaired. A first-time buyer can take advantage of our program with down payment assistance and also borrow additional funds to renovate the property all at the same time. Both of these programs are available under our conventional program and FHA. FHA offers some flexibilities currently with the borrower's credit. So again, they can still get down payment assistance. These loans are insured by FHA, so there is no unemployment payment protection. That's the MI Plus benefit that you see above. And they're paying the typical FHA insurance, both the upfront premium and the ongoing premiums as well. So that's first time buyer program number one, right? So conventional and FHA. Workforce advantage. Someone earning 80% or less of the area median income who's purchasing in a gateway city or the city of Boston. You'll see on the left-hand side of your screen, we break down all of the gateway cities and the income for those cities and towns as well. So if someone's earning that number or below, they could take advantage of workforce advantage. And again, the difference with that down payment assistance is this allows the borrower for a different type of down payment assistance. And we'll kind of jump back a little bit on that as well. It does carry the reduced mortgage insurance. It also has a discounted interest rate. So it's a very attractive rate for the borrower. This is for first-time buyers only again, and you can also use a renovation feature as well. What other mortgage programs do we have? So again, look at these income limits. Did you really think that someone could earn $147,000 a year and take advantage of the state's affordable housing program? And they can. Purchasing in Middlesex County, Norfolk County, Plymouth, Suffolk County, 147 in Essex County, 147, 420. They do not have to be a first-time home buyer, earn up to that income limit. Again, these are all owner-occupied properties. They do have the conventional loans. The borrower will get our MI Plus benefit as well, and the renovation feature is also available. So I bet we all know someone who's earning less than $147,000 a year. And I bet they didn't think that they could use the state's affordable housing program. And in some cases, use down payment assistance as well. So again, those numbers are 135% of the area median income. Operation Welcome Home. Really proud of our program that helps veterans and current service members. This is our first-time home buyer program that will help borrowers that are earning up to 135% of the area median income, who are active military, members of the Reserve or National Guard, and this program is called Operation Welcome Home. So in addition to down payment assistance and our mortgage payment protection benefit, we're also providing a $2,500 closing cost credit as well. This is not an FHA, this is not a VA loan. This is a MassHousing Operation Welcome Home loan. So some of you may know that you've had borrowers, people who are purchasing homes using a VA loan, and it's a wonderful loan program. But there are some things that maybe someone can't use a VA loan. If they're currently a reservist and in the National Guard, they may not qualify for the VA benefit currently to utilize the program. Also, a co-borrower can only be a spouse on a VA loan. So this is a MassHousing loan program that does not have those same requirements. So again, Operation Welcome Home, $2,500 closing cost credit, first-time home buyers. They're getting the down payment assistance as well. And the MI Plus benefit is also extended to reservists and National Guard who are also called to active duty. Our renovation option. I bet all of you are going out to homes with your first-time buyers especially. They're hoping that that house looked like one of the properties that they see on TV on those wonderful shows. And they walk in and it really just does not meet that expectation. So before they just walk out the door and say, you know, I can't live with that kitchen or that bathroom, and we really don't have the money to fix that property up because we've just saved enough for a down payment, maybe closing costs, maybe they're getting a gift. MassHousing's loan program, the renovation option, is available on all of our conventional programs. The borrower can finance up to 6 months of principal and interest in the loan amount. So that would help them if they still have to rent somewhere while they're renovating the property. They have up to 6 months to complete the rehabilitation, and the minimum renovations is $10,000. So this can certainly help with repairing a porch, a new roof on a property. It can be a gut rehab, but we typically don't see that. And you probably know better than I do that most first-time home buyers are really not up to that aggressive or ambitious of a renovation program. But certainly the repair and renovations of some of those other issues, as I mentioned, a kitchen, a bathroom, and also, of course, any health and safety issues this can be used for as well. MI Plus, well, the times that we're in right now, I can't think of a better, more important program for mass housing to be offering. Our mortgage payment protection benefit. A little bit earlier, I kept mentioning mortgage insurance. Mass Housing has their own mortgage insurance fund. So what does this mean? So for many of you, you're aware of what mortgage insurance, MI is, and PMI. But I'll just jump back for those of you who may not be as aware of it and how it works. Mortgage insurance is required on most loan programs where a borrower is putting down less than 20% of the purchase price. Mortgage insurance protects the lender in the event that the borrower defaults on that loan. So since the borrower is getting a mortgage loan for 95% of the value of the property, 97, maybe even 100% for mass housing, mortgage insurance protects the lender. The borrower does not pay their mortgage loan. The lender has this insurance policy. If they do have to foreclose on the property because the borrower didn't make their payments, this insurance will protect the lender for a percentage of the loan. So they typically would not lose as much money when that property went to foreclosure. This company would pay a claim to the lender. So that being said, it's kind of all about the lender, right? It's helping a borrower get into a house. It's really what it does. Consumer doesn't want it because they hear that it's expensive and what do I really get for it? Well, one of the things you get is you get to buy a house with less than 20% down. And since that loan is more risky to someone, they want this insurance policy. But Mass Housing decided in 2004 to create a benefit to the consumer as well. Because we have a mission. It's a mission to help someone get into a property, but to stay in the house when times are not as good as they currently are when they're buying the house. So unemployment payment protection. While a borrower is unemployed during the first 10 years of the loan, Mass Housing will pay up to 6 months of principal and interest of up to $2,000 a month while someone's unemployed. Pretty amazing. This is automatic for every loan that has Mass Housing's mortgage insurance. So every conventional loan that has MI through our mortgage insurance fund, the borrower automatically gets MI Plus. They don't pay anything additional for it. We don't add anything onto the loan. Just to give you a little bit of background of how this is currently worked, is, as I mentioned, it is at no cost to the borrower. And Mass Housing has helped over 1,000 borrowers, and we've paid over $5 million in claims to help people stay in their house when they're receiving unemployment, so they're not typically collecting their full pay. 82% of the borrowers that we have helped, and again, we're paying principal and interest, they would be paying the taxes and insurance during this period of time for the 6 months. 82% of those people stayed in their property and the loan did not go into foreclosure. They were not reported late to the credit bureau and they were able to get back on their feet. We typically pay about 5 months of benefits. There are 6 months available, but most borrowers have taken advantage of 5 months. So as you can imagine, in the times that we're currently in, with many people experiencing unemployment, being extremely concerned about their jobs, even if they're not currently unemployed, if they should get a mass housing loan, a conventional loan with mortgage insurance, they automatically get this benefit. That peace of mind to know that Mass Housing will pay your principal and interest up to $2,000 a month while you're unemployed. And this benefit is currently for the first 10 years of your loan is pretty amazing. There's nothing else like this out there. And we're extremely proud to be able to offer this, especially during these most difficult times for consumers. We're currently getting calls every day at MassHousing about borrowers having difficulty making their payments and also anticipating in the future that they may be laid off and may have difficulty making those payments. I'm sure there'll be lots of questions on this as we go on. Where can you find out more about MassHousing? On masshousing.com. I hope that you all sign up for our home buyer tips newsletter and that you also direct any of your first-time buyers there as well. Also, our website is available in Spanish and Portuguese. It only takes a moment for someone to sign up for our home buyer tips. You'll get our emails from us on a regular basis, and you'll be the first to hear about any new products that we have available and any resources. As I've been going through our programs, some of the things I would like to mention to you about how MassHousing's programs and some of the requirements that we have that we feel are in the best interest of both MassHousing, but more importantly, in the best interest of helping borrowers throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. First-time homebuyers are required to take homebuyer education. We feel very strongly that an educated borrower, that is our best consumer. We're setting someone up for success and not for failure. I'm sure as you're showing properties, that you're answering the phones and that you're talking to your friends and family, you know better than I do about all the misconceptions that everyone has out there. So the first place that we have a consumer started journey is attending a first-time homebuyer class. We do post the list of classes and agencies who teach those classes on our website. And if someone's purchasing a multifamily property, landlord education is required. So while there is a commitment from the borrower, we feel really strongly that while we're providing 97%, 100% of the purchase price, we want that borrower and that family to be set up for the future and for success. Learning about the entire process before they begin their journey is what we think is really a very important first step. And again, as a landlord, someone who's purchasing a multifamily, the explanation, the tools, and the resources that they will learn during the class are really invaluable. Classes are both in person in every community throughout the Commonwealth and also available online as well. And you can see from this screen in the middle below the picture, it says Get Educated, Home Buyer Education. We have borrower success stories, first-time home buyer guide, and we also have a video series that a consumer can watch as well. So I hope that you do have some of your consumers you deal with and even friends and family go to our website, sign up for our newsletter, and keep up with what's happening at MassHousing, what our new programs are coming out, and also pick up any of the tips that we have available out there. We typically feature in our home buyer tips specific communities and share some of the programs that may be offered within each community as well. There are many types of down payment assistance programs that are currently available in the market. Many of those programs can be used with a MassHousing loan. You may have heard of the Equity Builder program through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Boston. Many cities and towns have funds available. Those funds are typically federal funds, so they may be available for borrowers earning 80% or less than the area median income. But again, many of those programs can be used in conjunction with a MassHousing loan, even when a borrower is utilizing our DPA. So down payment assistance from MassHousing and additional funds from a city or town or from the Federal Home Loan Bank that can help with closing cost assistance. And a borrower can get into a property with very little into the transaction. We would encourage borrowers to take advantage of the down payment assistance, and it's sometimes keeping their own funds for that rainy day, for those reserves that help them sleep at night, and to not use up all of their money for the down payment assistance. And those are the types of things that a loan officer would go through with a borrower as to what programs are available and which is the best one for their family. So as I was talking about borrowers and loans, these are all families. These are families that MassHousing is helping to achieve their dream of home ownership. And it really starts that journey with the home buyer education class. and then with you as the realtor.
Thank you, Lisa. As a reminder to everyone, this webinar has been recorded and will be available to view in the next few days on our website at marealtor.com. Thank you so much, Lisa, for your presentation, and thank you to everyone for joining today. We hope to see you next time.